Ladies and gents, yet again, I am saying ladies and gents. I'm sure you're all surprised. Welcome. We have hyper random free for all, and we've got some pretty freaking big islands here. Wasn't sure what we were gonna get. Also, I feel as though we are experiencing a little bit of stutter and a little bit of lag here. So, whatever hamsters are running on the wheel for these players' PCs, hopefully they can pick up the pace here. 8 players, 8 kings. Kings will explode, and a variety of different experience levels here as well. You can see all their elos at the bottom right. So in the yellow, I think it's their first community game. We have Brando. Brando is playing as the Romans. In the purple, we have Matthew. Matthew's playing as the Bulgarians. In the blue, we have Mira. Mira has played before. Mira's playing as the Goths. And the red, we have Vascarius. Vascarius has also played many times before. He's playing as the Malians. The gray, we have Huds, super experienced player. Man, we got some real experienced community gamers here. Huds is playing as the Khmer. The orange, we've got just another T90 Lel. This is their first time, I think. And they already said ahead of time, sorry if I don't answer a message, Diplo is hard. In the green, we have Flame Puncher. Flame Puncher playing as the Bengalis. And then last but not least, we have Stanislav. Kind of crazy. Check this out. We have Huds at 1450. We have Stanislav at 1490. We have Vascarius at 1480. And those three are the most experienced players in the game. That's wild that they're so similar in Elo. Yeah, I don't want to get ahead of myself here with this comment. But I think the lagger is going to have to be killed. Are you guys sensing this? Like the ever so slight stutter? I think there is a little bit. It's not horrible. But if it does get worse, that's just kind of the rules of large-scale Age of Empires 2 games. They've been the rules for as long as I've been around anyways. You got to kill off the person that is lagging the game. Now, I don't know who it is because Capture H doesn't have an indicator. I would actually prefer that we just wait. I'm sure this will be discussed because we have enough experienced people here, but I find that to be such a weird and hilarious, like, normal thing for us, guys. Like, that's how old and crazy our game is that that's standard now. It's like, okay, well, everybody knows the rule here. No, there should be no problems.
Yes.
And maybe the player, if they're called out, maybe they'll try and make some tweaks. But yeah, players are asking about where the wood is. There is only 279,000 wood on this map. There's, like, no wood. This is going to be a trade game. Most likely, right? Because they'll run out of wood quickly. It'll all be about the gold income to buy everything they need. And then also, it's a water map. So, like, you're going to be spending wood a lot. How are you supposed to go full Navy, which is maybe the best play, if you don't have wood? Matthews has got to go grab my pasta. BRB. Matthews going to leave, apparently. Is he actually going to do this? We have ways to check. It's going down. It's going down. Okay, maybe he is. Maybe he's gone. Maybe he's going to get food. Yeah, also, they started with an Arambai, which I guess I haven't mentioned. So, just not a lot of resources on the map here. Sometimes we get excessive amounts of resources. Sometimes we get very little. They are all connected via this amphibious terrain. So, you can use land units. There's actually not a lot of area that isn't that terrain. It's kind of weird how in the corners we've got so much deer here. It's going to be kind of difficult to take advantage of that because you can't even mill, right? So no one's going to be taking the deer. Maybe we'll see people transport over to the relics eventually. But slow and steady, building up towards Castle Age most likely. And yeah, still ever so slightly surprised we haven't seen anybody call out the lagger yet. Oh, wait. Here it is. Oh, of course it's orange.
Yes.
Oh, no, of course it's orange. I was so worried it was going to be just another T90 Lel. Innocent little orange, first community game. And they're talking about the lag, and apparently it's orange. And Matthew says, we kill orange the lagger, right? And so, I mean, I mean, again, we're in Dark Age now. So, in theory, it could get worse. Large-scale free-for-all games can be really taxing. And I mean, I don't know if they'll tell Orange this ahead of time. It would be a brutal way to end your first game, but I mean, all the players are affected. The casting's affected as well. It might just have to happen. So, now this could end up... They're the lowest elo player in the game. They also seem to be pretty innocent, pretty kind characters. So, this could end up making whoever kills them be the bully. Just because people agree that it should happen doesn't mean that after it happens, someone's not going to point a finger at them and say, hey, that guy's the worst, you know? That would be a pretty good strat. I'd be telling HUDs, hey, HUDs, kill the lagger for us. What's happening here? Oh, why is that? It felt like the castle's arrows were firing a bit differently than what I'm used to. But I guess HUDs wasn't allied with Orange until now. So they're all allied. And they all should be able to see what the other's up to once they build some markets here. How do they know Orange is the lagger? When you're in game, there's this weird clock thing next to your name. So it's kind of in the bottom right next to the score. And if you're lagging, your clock will be yellow or red. So they're seeing that in game. I don't know if it's as easy for me to show you with the spectator, and I really don't feel like tabbing into the actual game, but yeah, they're not just picking on Orange randomly here. Yellow clock means you're like mildly lagging, which is what this feels like, and if it's extreme lag, it'll be red. So, Stanislav says, only to you, green friend. If Flame Puncher has been around, he might recognize some of these other names. He's in an interesting position ranking-wise. He and Matthew, around 1,100 elo. Very solid players, but not quite at the 1,400 elo of the others. Stanislav going to him and not to yellow. At least yet. I think Viscarius and HUDs being next to each other is probably the big thing to talk about, because these two not only are two of the 3 higher elo players, but they also have been around probably the longest, so they'll know each other. They'll respect the other's abilities. I don't know if they're necessarily, like, super tight, super pals, you know? But they could do what a lot of players do and just go 2v4 for a little while. Or just plan... They might make a deal that it'll be them in the final 2, and then try and plan a backstab. And Castle Age coming in. Brando also reaching out to Stanislav, so nice diplo from Stanislav so far. Seeing a lot of blinking on the map. Oh, that's weird. So I guess the wolves are like slowly decaying. In hyper random here, you can actually eat the wolves. And so that blinking indicator is just a dead wolf on the mini-map. I don't think anyone's going to be eating the wolves, but I kind of like that feature, how you can eat them. I actually wouldn't hate that being more of a normal thing. Just like from a risk-reward standpoint, because they made it so certain animals attack more. Like, the more dangerous animal could give you a little bit more food. I don't know if anyone's going to be milling wolves or anything, but I guess it could make Gold Rush very interesting. Turn off the... Oh, we want to turn off the market events. There we go. Imagine you're playing your first community game. People are talking behind your back. And then everyone's hitting Castle Age before you. It could be pretty stressful. But it does seem like things smoothed out a little bit more. It was just like very mild lag. I'm not seeing anything insane right now. So maybe they, who knows? Maybe Orange had a couple things open. Maybe Orange told Mom to stop using the Wi-Fi. We'll find out. First trade cog is out here from Matthew. This might feel like just a random thing for me to talk about, because there's nothing else to talk about, and you would be partially correct. But it's actually the focus of this game, because with this much water, I think water trade is the best way to get gold, and then trade, of course, is going to be needed when the wood is slowly disappearing from the map. We've seen it many times before, that this is all about having as much trade as possible. Yo, Flash Gordon, really testing to see if Twitch is on their, on the ball here. Because 4 minutes ago is when Twitch said the gift bonus would start. And it has, man. Thank you for the 5 gifted. So yeah, for every 5 gifted over the next 5 days, Valorant gifts a sub in addition to someone from the community. So thank you so much, Flash Gordon. Thank you, Brave Sir Robin. Thanks for the 42 months. He says it used to be a thing in AoE1. Are you talking about eating the animals? I never really played AoE1. Like, I don't even think I'd go back and do it because I feel like AoE2 is just such a big improvement. And what in the... I mean, YouTube's going to have no clue what's happening, but sub search is freaking flying in right now. Wait a second. Did we get scammed? Super Cat Thief gifted 50? I'm not seeing any additional subs here from Twitch. What's going on? You only get 5? You have to do like 5 at a time to get it? Maybe I missed it. Thank you so much, Super Cat Thief. Thank you, Etchid, for the 5 gifted as well. There were 10 extra because of that? Okay, that's dope then. I was about to text Bezos and say, you know, you got to look into this, man. Bezos and I go way back. You know, occasionally, you might be wondering where I am. I'm just hanging out with Bezos on his yacht. One of his yachts. He doesn't let me on the 300-footer. But the 150-footer, you know, I've got a space there. We get to hang out. Talk about, you know, how we can make everyone else's lives miserable. Dodge is in chat. Sorry if you didn't get one, guys. Maybe there'll be some more, but thank you, guys. All right, so I was wondering if Orange was going to start to form some alliances here. And Orange is doing that now. Says, Green, just to you, we are clearly underdogs. Team until we are killed by superior powers. That's not a very confident... That is not a very confident approach. Like, let's be team until we're killed by superior powers? No, become the superior power. I mean, we'll see if Green wants to sign up for that. I would say you might be thinking about teaming with other people. Red and Gray also talked about their friendship, I think. HUD says, so friends. Vascarius just says yes. I don't really think they have to discuss much. I think they both understand the other's powers. And so there's an agreement there. And Vascarius also hearing from Matthew. Matthew seems to be speaking to a lot of people here. He said, hey, want to be friends to everyone but Orange. So Orange doesn't get extended the friendship, I guess, because it's already assumed that Orange will be killed. See if that actually happens. I see Matthew sailing around right now. I might be looking for a relic. But no response to the poor Loey the Legend. The poor Loey the Legend is at 48 villagers, which is the lowest in the game, but not massively. We have decent amounts of fish here. Bohemians are also a really nice civ. We've got a couple TCs and Imp on the way here for Orange, so we've got some positives. What's up, Overconfidence?
No.
Is that the Overconfidence? Like, long-time viewer Overconfidence? Or is this another Overconfidence? He says, I come back from retirement, and there are subs flying? What's going on? Overconfidence makes me think that you're the first community game stream you've been back to in a while, man. Maybe you are the Overconfidence. There might be multiple. Welcome. What is Bezos' favorite civ, T90? Okay, I mean, I don't actually know Jeff Bezos, and I don't hang out with Jeff Bezos, to be clear. That was all a joke. If he had a favorite civ, he'd probably want freaking Mongols or something. He'd probably be step lancing people 15 minutes in, making their lives miserable. Angry Jeff's in chat. I don't know. I have no clue. I think I'm... Yeah, maybe he would want a civ that is based close to the Amazon. NHB, first time on Twitch, says, very used to hearing you in 1.5 times speed on YouTube. First time actually catching a stream. Yeah, sorry if I sound drunk or tired. In all fairness, I am pretty chill right now. But the game's pretty chill, so we'll work our way up. Thank you for showing up. Norit as well says they're new. Says, hi, all new to Twitch. This looks exciting. Let's go. Chat knows what to do. Thank you, LC. Bam. Guys, we are almost at 200,000 wood. We have a wood shortage on the map. And players will be aware of that. Trade should be the focus. I think the most... I don't know. I think the best way to play this to maximize your chances to win is kind of a boring method, but I think you should just trade. You should make castles in the trade routes. So, like, on the shorelines where the trade cogs are, and you should make lots of navy. And maybe even play towards a wonder victory eventually, but you have to be patient with that. Oh, God, the stutter. The stutter, guys. This does not mean good things for Orange. If it is Orange that's lagging. I'm just going based on what they said, right? Overconfidence now subbing for 3 years. Let's go. He says, yep, T90, I'm the Overconfidence, the one and only. Hey, welcome back, Overconfidence. Nice to see you, man. That's a really tough thing. As a content creator who's done this for so long now, people come and go. That's normal, right? My goal is to always be here for you guys. So, you step away, life gets busy, whatever. I hope to still be around and still be a source of entertainment and whatnot, but you do kind of get used to people being around, right? But that's just, life goes on and things change. And it's kind of the exciting because you have new waves of people coming in, but kind of the tough thing to manage sometimes. For example, of the 10 people who were my first Twitch subs, only 4 are still around. I recently looked at that list and I was like, oh my God, I forgot about those names. But yeah, welcome back, Overconfidence is basically my point. 4 is good, LMAO. Yeah, I mean, I guess it is. But I look back and I'm just like, oh man. I mean, this stream has changed a lot. The community's changed a lot. That was back in like 2015, right? So it's understandable. Life changes big time. But I refuse to change. Who's with me? I will remain the same. We have
Yes.
stayed in the same game this whole time.
Yes.
The other 6 stopped watching and became good players instead. All right, mods, ban them. Ban them. Get rid of them. We have a lot of viewers here. We don't need that viewer. Get rid of them. See, he thinks he's laughing right now. He thinks we won't. He thinks we won't. I'm kidding. We won't. Please unban him if you banned him. It's fine. It's just a joke. I really should be more threatening. People actually believe we have some powers here. Huds is asking Red, what's the plan? There was no real response yet from Voscarius. He kind of screwed that up. Stanislav talking to Purple about water. Matthew says, for too long, people have made alliances in secret. We shall be the first open friendship. Wait, what? That's a potential YouTube title right there. Okay, so they're going to be in an open relationship in a diplomacy game. And Orange is asking for clarification here. He's like, let's set the definition of what this means. It says open friendship means other people are joining, right? And Stanislav is explaining, yes, that's how it works. Oh my freaking God! JVG Joe? With 50 gifted. Let's go, guys. That's crazy, man. Thank you so much, guys. God. Freaking community games. Let's go. Nothing's happened, really. I mean, we talked about an open relationship. We got feelsy about how old I am and had some people come back. Green says, what if I am jealous and don't like sharing? I think this is a very valid conversation. I mean, it takes a lot of courage to join an open diplomatic relationship. I feel like you have to be a very mature individual. I think you could also argue that's just plain stupid, depending on the people, right? Orange says, I'd like to join despite the distance. I see you're trading with me anyways. And Stanislav says, we share these feelings. No one has discussed Orange being the lagger since the early stages. I still don't think Orange is going to last for very long because, like, Gray has a good thing set up here with Vascarius. Vascarius probably can't be someone Gray attacks just yet because we know Vascarius is also strong. They're the top two. So where else is Gray going to go to kill somebody but maybe here? I think what you need to do if you're a low elo player in these games, guys, is you've got to reach out to the top dogs to the next to you real early. Like, I think Orange is scared of the strong players and so didn't talk to them, was intimidated by them, which is understandable. So only went over to Green. But, like, you need to be talking to Gray, being like, Gray, what can I make for you? What can we do together here? And then maybe Gray will be like, okay, this person's on my side. Because all the higher ranked players are going to feel like the low guys are going to team up against them. So just some things to think about here as Detour also gives some subs. Thank you so much. Let's go. Pablo, thank you for the year. Cabal, thanks for the 9 months, man. He says, I have a dream that one day T90 rigged me in on community games. Says, your content's really good and entertaining. Greetings from Austria. Hey, thank you. I've never been to Austria. I will be there someday. Oh god, the lag has returned. Yeah, I mean, I've been close enough to Austria. Maybe I'll make it. We'll see. Yeah, Purple definitely knows what's up here with the trade. Castles all along those shorelines. So if anyone is trading past you and you turn on them, their trade dies. So you have to be really particular on what directions you're trading, I would say. And ideally, maybe avoid the middle if you can. It's kind of impossible to do. Actually, the strongest castle position would be a castle in the middle. Anyone turns on you, their trade dies if they're going through there, right? Stanislav says to Yellow, this is our plan. We wait until people fall out. We bide our time. Profit. That's a good plan. That's a really good plan. Brando seems to be on board with that plan as well. Still no obvious signs there's going to be attacks, but I should probably switch to military tab. And I've been paying attention to Green. Green has a lot of Ratha here. What's up, Strode? Green has their king inside the castle. So I'm kind of concerned if Green's going to go attack someone, the king will be sent out, but let's assume that Green will notice that. Ooh, Flame Puncher, 1100 EO, it's pretty solid, right? But I mean, these games are completely different. They know everyone's watching. I think right now a lot of these players don't want to be the first ones to die, so they probably might not make big moves. But it is always difficult to decide on who gets to die first. And if someone is lagging, that is normally the person who gets killed. It seems on and off, though. So maybe the hamsters need a snack every now and then to get moving. But welcome, guys. Das Food, thank you for the 20 months. What's up, Dutch Pilgrim? Thanks for the 33. I don't know how many people are off on weekends. I know it's Friday right now, at least for when I'm streaming. So happy weekend to you guys. Unless you work, then it's probably like, well, happy Friday, I guess. I will be streaming a bit this weekend. I might not be doing both days after all. I actually haven't decided fully yet. I think I'll be live tomorrow and not Sunday, so. And it'll be hyper random as well. It'll just be 1v1s. So lots of hyper random this week. Cabal says Austria, not Australia. All right, wait, did you say you're from Australia? Did I get it wrong? What am I missing? I forget. He says, greetings from Austria. Okay, so funnily enough, I've been to Australia, but I've not been to Austria. And Austria is way closer. And Orange says, is there a lot of talking going on that I'm not a part of? Or is this a low elo diplo game? So I think Orange is a little concerned that there's conversations happening that they're not a part of. And Teal says, if there is chat, I'm missing it as well. And Gray says, I'm not hearing much. 11. Okay, so it seems like it's just not a chatty game. Flame Puncher's going to change that. Says, okay, Teal, just to you. Who are we killing first? I got archers and elephants. Yeah, so green's ready to go. Stanislav, remember, communicated the plan to yellow. The plan is to stay out of it, essentially. And Matthew... Wait, I remember some funny stuff from Matthew before. Was it Matthew or was it some other first name? Chat, does anyone else remember Matthew? I think there was maybe a Matthew in Regicide Rumble. Who is the player that was acting like they were JFK in Regicide Rumble? Was that Matthew or was that another name? It's ringing a bell for me now.
Yes.
Vascarius says, guys, do we take Gray into the Alliance? All right, that's interesting. I thought Gray was already in the Alliance. He's talking to Blue and Purple. Blue says yes. If they get Gray, that's a very strong team then. Green obviously wants to fight. Stanislav saying to Green, maybe we should try to 6v2 them, but I don't know if I can diplo that. Oh, I see. So they're thinking about trying to take out Gray and Red because they're next to each other, which is a good call. Yeah. Matthew is in Forest Something. And I think in Forest Something, he was the one who did the George W. Bush quotes. Like the, now watch me hit this drive. Unless he was teamed with the guy. No. I'm getting it wrong. Frost the Big Dog was the name. Frost the Big Dog was in that. He was the one who did the George W. Bush quotes. I got really worried. We were getting like super political in those games. And then Matthew was teamed with him. Okay. And yeah, he did make a bunch of casts. Vascarius says, what you thinking? I trade to perp on water. I mean, they have a team of 4 now, which is really strong. 1,400, or basically 1,500, 1,500. Say 1,000 or 1,100. And then 1,100. It's definitely stronger than the other side. There's no doubt, right? Because you got just another T90 Lel. Well, yeah, I mean, the ELOs average out to be higher. I guess it could be worse, though. We're talking about the lag again. Vascarius says, let's do it, please. I feel bad for him, but this is bad. And HUD says the lag is painful. And yeah, it is kind of painful. And what makes it worse is while we're casting, we get the lag as well. So it's not like they have the lag and we get to see them complain and we're completely fine. So the stream is not lagging. The video is not lagging. The game is lagging. And the only way to make the game not lag is to kill the source of the lag.
Yes.
And yeah, they're signaling the king. I feel really bad for Orange right now. How many people watching here remember like lobbies arguing over like who was the lagger in old AoE? Because I don't know. I think there was a little symbol that would show up next to names in those games. I mean, performance was so much worse back then. But I remember it was like, this guy's lag. No, this guy's lag. No, this guy's lag. And just like people just bickering at each other on who's the lagger. It's pretty clear with DE when you're in a game because it shows the red clock next to their name. Yeah, we don't know it. Maybe it could be server related. Not really sure, but they're seeing a symbol there. They're probably going to make a move. Community games, just like real life, are not exactly fair. Not always kind to beginners. Can be very brutal, and I think it's about to happen here. I think we're about to see Mira make a move. We've got Huskarls out here. So before the stream, I played a 1v1 game. I was against You Pudding. I was Goths against Bengalis. And I thought that going elite Huskarl would be sick. And I just got completely wrecked by Ratha. Apparently Ratha just destroyed Huskarls. So if Green were to come support, maybe then things would be okay for Orange. Stanislav saying, to all but Gray, he is massing up ballistas. I know some of you will be friends with him. Well, this is interesting. Stanislav is warning people that Khmer is basically a problem. He says, I reckon none of us can deal with it alone. I mean, Regicide Rumble, we had how many Khmer victories? It was a lot. Like 4 or 5? So, yeah, Khmer are insane if they have time. And here comes Red with Trebuchets and Cavalier in that transport ship. And here is Blue. And I fear the end is near for just another T-90 Lel, who's so wholesome. And Capture Age crashes. Okay. Well. Orange's PC isn't the only thing that's unstable. We also have Capture Age, which is unstable. So, I feel like we'll get right back. I feel like this is a great time for an ad break. We'll get right back to the King Snipe after these short messages. Kidding. I'm not actually doing that. But unfortunately... Oh, no. We actually get back at the perfect time. Okay. Here we go. Thank you, Capture Age. Are my settings what they should be? Yeah, my settings are literally best I can do. The king is right there, guys. And we're back. And the king dies. So, king is dead. I feel really bad for Orange. It was a short story, but the lag was getting pretty brutal. And there will be an explosion. And the explosion will take out some of the units that are remaining here, but we got 7 left. And just another T-90 Lel goes down,
Yes.
which makes me sad. But life goes on. Matthew says, nice job, team. Who was next? And Stanislav didn't even see it was happening. So, yeah, if their theory that, you know, something in relation to Orange playing was a little bit laggy, Orange leaving the game should make it smooth. Yeah, look, it's smooth now. Bobby Tables is in chat. I think that he was Orange in game. He says, sorry about the lag. My PC is way too old. Hey, no worries. Don't kick yourself too much for, like, your diplo or anything. Honestly, it's just the age-old rule of if there's some lag, you got to kill that player. So you actually played fine. Your diplo was fine, but that was the thing working against you there. So, yeah. Who got the kill there? Blue got the kill. Goths can be pretty dangerous with the spam, but some of these civs can also destroy the Goths pretty easily as well. Like, Bulgarians can be really strong.
Yes.
We are at 27k wood, and we haven't even hit an hour. It started at 227,000. Yeah, we're about to have a woodless game here. So I should actually check stockpiles and see who's banking up the most. And also check gold workers as well. In fact, I can turn market events on. I'm pretty certain we're going to see a lot of wood being purchased from somebody. I'm going to leave it on for now. If they do anything with the market, it'll pop up. Fighting's obviously going to start soon. It's actually beneficial for Gray that there's now not a threat of someone being over here. I continue to see Matthew with his transport with a monk inside of it. I don't know if there's a relic somewhere I'm missing. Stanislav is probably just transporting some villagers to go take some foreign trees right now. And, yeah, I mean, they're about to be woodless. Yeah, look at HUDs. Look at HUDs. Look at these prices, guys. This reminds me of that Lowy the Legends game. With the King Brazilian, what was his name? Where he was just buying and selling res like crazy. He just spent 7k gold on wood. These prices are insane. And Matthew has a different strategy. Matthew's buying stone, which also makes sense. Because it makes it difficult for you to be killed. Stanislav makes a move. And apparently Gray was attacking somewhere. Did I miss it? HUD says, damn it. Hold on. Wait, I think we might have had a T90 blind moment. I think we need to search for this. Stanislav turns. Why did he turn? He saw something from Gray. Gray is the hardest color to see. Chat, don't even call me blind. You didn't even see it, okay? Actually, it's fine. You can use the emotes. That's literally the point. Did Gray have a transport ship? I'm not seeing crap. And Gray said, damn it, like he was going for like some big surprise. Maybe maybe it'll come into a frame here in a second. It would assume that would be, oh, right here. Oh, that's actually an epic play. He thought the king was there. That would have been so sick. That would have been so sick. The king was not in there, though. The king was in another castle. That's why Gray said, damn it. And so Stanislav obviously turns on him. Gray says, damn it. He wanted the highlight for the stream, but he went for the wrong castle. That is why you have garrison units in multiple castles. And TCs, for that matter. That was well played from HUDs, though. That was really well played. I'm going to turn off market events now. The point is people are buying wood. And HUD says, sorry, Teal, had to try X. Yeah, but you've just started a massive scale war. So, yeah, you had to try. That's a smart move for you. But now you didn't get the job done. And now Stanislav's wrath is going to be what you face next with paladins and halbs on the way. I do think, though, that if Gray is prepared for this, and Gray simply just has, you know, maybe delete some of the 155 eco. Enough ballista elephants should be able to deal with pretty much everything except for siege onagers. And Teal was the one who was trying to warn the others that Gray was a problem. So it's interesting that Gray ended up trying to take him out. So, to what we said earlier, now this castle is killing some of the trade. So Gray will lose a lot of trade. HUDs is asking to be friends again. But I don't think Stanislav is here for a handshake or a hug to ally. I think he's here for different reasons. He's here for revenge reasons. And, I mean, he could potentially kill a king here. Gray's going to have to fight back, I imagine. Green says, you attacked my friend Teal. Yeah, Gray, you're going to need to tell your allies that you're going to need some support here. Because you're about to have paladins in your base. He's going to have to turn. Yeah, he does turn. You're going to have paladins in your base. He turned a little too late. That'll be crazy damage. Will Red come to his aid? The halbs are chewing up the elephants here. No, the boat! There was like 30 units in that transport ship. So all those units go down. Oh, man. Just the difference between finding the correct castle or not. He had one chance. He didn't end up killing the king, and now pain is coming. Vascarius is going to come to his defense. Vascarius will be here with Cavaliers with the Malians. But Gray still takes some pretty big hits here. There's pandas. That's cute. They don't seem to care. Blue says red go help Gray. We go yellow turning now. Okay, so there's a solid team. And they're sticking together. Wow, they turned at the exact same time. Blue and purple turned on yellow at the same moment. Talk about coordination. And the person yellow was supposed to receive support and help from was going to be Teal. I guess there is green. That will be fighting Gray as well. But with orange out of the picture, this is a 4v3 right now. And we've got Navy from Matthew. And then we've got infantry from Mira. Honestly, I'm not sure infantry is going to cut it against this many scorpions, but I guess the cannon galleons can take care of the scorpions. Huskarls should struggle against legionaries and Roman scorpions like this. Shouldn't be a good matchup for blue. So Gray trying to balance out the eco. Massive battle over here. Yeah, most of the Goth infantry is just gone now. Nice hold from yellow. We actually have a castle here from red, which is pretty random. And now he's turning on green. This is in green's eco right now. The green noticed it and saying something, but green hasn't turned on red. Maybe green is looking here. I'm not sure. I mean, green obviously isn't looking here. I'm not sure where green is looking, but green needs to turn. Green, you're losing all your units to red's Cavalier. From 0 to 100 really freaking quick this game. Yeah, better choice here for Mira to go for champions now. Champions should be a bit better against legionaries. Purple probably needs to make something on water other than cannon galleons. Demos would be good. Galleons would be good. Even fire ships would be better. Oh no, green, 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 green. It all dies. Oh no. Green loses everything there. And I think it's just because green is super focused here. But green, you haven't turned. You haven't turned. Now he turns. I mean, I've seen that hundreds of times over the years. someone makes the army, but then forgets or just isn't able to turn on them in time. These castles essentially won the war here, right? Like, it took Green's focus completely away from where he needed to be. Now, Gray is stabilized. Stanislav is here mainly to focus on purple. But purple's pretty well defended, if you ask me. Now, let's not forget there's trade happening. So I think red's trade running down here. Like, this is not what you want, right? Like, all of his trade is getting picked off. This is the problem of this game, guys. Is the only way to get wood is going to be through getting gold. The only way to get gold is through trade, and the trade is going to be super exposed. It's a lot of elephants, though. Well played from Flame Puncher to stabilize here. And those elephants are going to be tough to kill. Gray's coming forward with his own elephants with ballistas. Green hops out of the castle to deal with red's cavalier. Yellow still has this death ball, but it is not going to be enough against... I don't think it's going to be easy to fight against purple and blue at the same time. Dude, those scorpions, though! Let's go! That's amazing. I love it when scorpions melt units like that. Yellow certainly is playing to the Roman strengths. Lots of infantry, lots of scorps. Is Yellow doing this? Honestly, if Yellow had some trebs as well to be able to snipe castles, that would be ideal. The problem is the others have enough chance to reset. And Teal's killing some of the cannon galleons with paladins. Looks like there was a raid in Blue's base that we missed. Well played from Stanislav, but now the Khmer player is here with the elephants. Vascarius is going to turn on Yellow, and oh no! That is the tale of scorpions right there. I don't know if that's good enough for YouTube Shorts later, but like, the satisfaction of melting infantry units into the disappointment of how vulnerable your units are. The scorpions are very, very hit or miss. But it's great against infantry. Not so good against siege, not so good against cav. Green's got 96 military right now, and this is a lot of tanky military with the elephants. But I just feel like Green's going to eventually run out of steam. The Green's still focusing down some of Red's buildings here. So well played there. Green will also push back Gray's trebuchets here. Green's holding. Green will take down all the siege. Green still has an economy that looks pretty good. It's not bad. But Yellow's struggling now. And Blue actually brought siege this time. And Purple's Hussars are getting close enough to the Scorpions and finding some villager kills. Yeah, and Teal's going to need to kind of support both sides. The main reason that Orange was focused down, at least by Gray and by Red, was because of the lag. But the side benefit is that now this has become a 4v3, and Orange isn't there to support. Orange actually had a great civilization to be able to support as well. Bohemian Halbs alone would be insane here. Yellow's still trying to fight. Space Gamer, hello. Salutes in chat for Space Gamer. First time here. Lots of first timers this week, man. Thank you, guys. Thanks for watching. Glad you could make it to the stream. The Flame Puncher says Blue, Red, and Teal at war with me. Matthew says, to everybody? Teal want to be friends? I will keep fighting Yellow. You keep fighting Blue. The public alliance stands. Wait, what? Matthew is saying to everybody? I mean, I think this is his thing. He's like, there will be no secrets here. So I think it's intentionally public. But I don't know if this whole open relationship idea is a smart move, dude. I mean, we haven't seen any of his current allies get upset with that. I guess Teal did just say no, so Teal's not interested. So, all right. Green did push this back. I think eventually red and gray should be able to gather their forces and deal with this, but it's gonna take some time to take down the elephants. I think they tried to do a lot at once with the forward buildings. Stanislav actually has some forward buildings down here. What gray really needs is a meat shield for the ballista elephants, and you probably need to be at like 30 ballista elephants instead of 15. But even still, with 17, they're killing off these Bengali elephants. Elephant on elephant violence. Teamwork as well. Welcome. It's actually tough when someone does a first time chat. I don't know if that means if it's their first day watching. I kind of assume that, but Twitch doesn't tell me if someone's watching for the first time. Let's do a fun little game. If you have been watching for a while, but you just never chat and say hello over the next couple minutes. I want to see how many first-time chatters we can get. There might not be many, but there are majority of people who watch are just lurking. For the memes, first time, hello. Chundra, who's a sub, says hello. JP Tuna, who's a sub, says hello. Flying Dutch Oven, Blue, Laws Boob. That's not how you say it. Okay, we got a lot of people. Holy crap. According to Twitch, that was like 15 first-time chatters. Damn. Okay. Welcome, guys. Well, it's all good. Feel free to return to your lurking. No judgment here. It's just good to know. I just wanted to confirm you guys weren't view bots that my parents paid for to make me feel good about myself, you know? Sometimes I'm not sure. I'm honestly really impressed with green. I thought green was so dead. Like when red built those castles, I thought green was cooked. But green is held. Green still may have some problems later, but at least they've held. Yellow as well, impressive. It's essentially been 1v2 a lot of the time for these players. I guess teal should be incorporated in that. Stanislav is kind of the team captain, so to speak. T90, how many people are typing that while in a meeting? Oh, that's a fun one as well. How many people are currently at work? Smiley faces in chat. There's gonna be a lot of smiley faces. I hear this a lot, man. I think it'd be funny if there's multiple people in the same office, or you know, same job, and they're smiling right now and they don't know their coworkers are in chat. Be like, Sandra, is that you? I thought you were watching Age of Empires. Damn, absolute brutality here, man. Absolute brutality. Those camels are just not doing enough. Camels don't do a ton of bonus damage versus elephants. So if you don't have Halb, it's kind of tricky. They need to go for Halb here. Gray's the only one that can do that. But then Gray is investing into ballistas, which is expensive. Stanislav goes to blue. It says, hey, just to you, this isn't working. Do you want to work with me? That would shake things up. That would shake things up massively. And also, purple's starting to lose some grounds here. Blue might be realizing that. Blue might want to shake things up. Because green still hasn't been killed off yet. Mira says, I want assurances. That's honestly fair. I think you got to have some assurances that things are going to go your way, and you're just not going to betray your team for nothing here. Stanislav says, can you snipe red? And I can kill player 4 in return. Ooh. Is that a fair trade? I mean, that would be really brutal to yellow. For teal to kill yellow, who's fought so valiantly, would be kind of heartless. I think blue didn't really fight with red. They're just neighbors, so it wouldn't be as bad. Mira takes the deal. So sounds good to me. Ally. Now, red is just switched into Gabetto, and Gabetto is a unit that he's needed for a while. That's a great switch from Vascarius. Will he sense a snipe is coming? Flame Puncher says, we outnumbered here, boss. Need another or a snipe. And Mira says, I want us last 1v1. Okay, so the deal is they betray their alliances, And then they, at the very end, they 1v1 for the win. Big shakeup. I mean, Gray and Red probably feel pretty content with the progress they're making. And Mira says to the team, Teal wants me to turn and snipe Red. And I assume he's not going to do it now. Oh, it's a bait, dude. It's a bait. He took the deal. He's not going to do it. Buscary says, please don't do that. Oh, wait a second. Matthew got the message. And Mr. Public Matthew says, Teal, why are you trying to turn my friends? The Public Alliance does not backstab. Oh, crap. And Stanislav has been called out by the Public Alliance that only Matthew seems to believe in. Stanislav says, I would never. This is a hoax. And Matthew says, are you calling Red a liar? Wow. So, cat's out of the bag. Big time. And I don't know if there's going to be any deal anymore. Stanislav's going to be annoyed at Blue for spilling the beans. I don't think Blue is actually going to snipe Red. That means Yellow probably survives, though, because I don't think it would be wise for Teal to assume the deal is on. Matthew has just made this game way more interesting. So, salutes in chat for Matthew. The Public Alliance thing is hilarious. It's not smart, honestly, but it is funny. I mean, maybe there is something. If everything's out in the open, maybe you don't get betrayed as much.
Yes.
Maybe people trust you, and then you can have more power in the friendship. Green's still holding because Green has just been an absolute boss. Still took some damage here economically and is still losing expensive units. I imagine Green's going to run out of res eventually. But does have 7,000 food and 7,000 gold right now, so it's not horrible compared to some others. Red is in the best spot in the game with 23,000 gold, 23,000 food, and 8,000 wood. There is how much wood left on the map? There is 4,000. Matthew, all caps. That seems to be how the Secret Alliance likes to communicate. It says, big push on me. Now Mira goes to Teal again and says, when do we kill? Well, Mira, you talk to the blabbermouth. I think the deal is off. The deal is definitely off as well if, like, Purple... Excuse me, if Purple's gonna die, I don't think things are looking too bad for Stanislav and for Yellow. I think deal is off. Man, Yellow's a god. Yellow is a god. I can't believe Teal was gonna kill him. 136 legionaries. How? This is insane. This feels like he's using cheat codes right now. Brando going hammo here. Man, if only they had siege. It's so sad they never brought siege here. All the castles would be gone. It's such a rookie mistake. We see it all the time. But you have to have the army, and then you have to have some siege to take down these castles. You're losing so many units to the castles. The castles for Purple that I've just selected, it's only 5 of them, have 250 kills. I mean, 4 trebs, everything would have been gone. Maybe Purple holds on now. There are some random raids from Purple we have to pay attention to. And Red and Gray are still moving in on Green, who's still valiantly holding solo. If Green can hold a little bit longer, maybe Matthew is killed, and then this becomes a 3v3. But Gabetto, that do so much melee damage, and there's so many of them now. And combining that with some siege onager, I think Green's going to start to lose ground, and Green's units are not cheap. You can see Green's running out of resources, at least compared to Red. But yeah, guys, I mean, look, Purple survives because of the castles, and they didn't have siege here. Green says, did you leave me, Teal? Frowny face. It's okay. I understand. I die to protect, brother. Yo, Flame Punch is the best. Flame Punch is the best. Did you leave me, frowny face? It's okay. I understand. I will still protect you. That's an ally right there. I'm kind of sad. A tear has come to my eye, but respect. A Stanislav response is, I need to focus Perp for a bit. Will come ASAP. So yeah. At least there's an explanation there. Vascarius is sending resources to Matthew. HUD's is sending resources to Matthew because Matthew is out of gas. But I mean, again, no siege. Castles with murder holes are going to kill quite a bit here. And I think with that injection of resources, Matthew can actually make units. Stanislav and Brando will have big regrets over no siege. And again, Blue goes to Stanislav now and is asking about the deal. I thought the deal was off. Stanislav says yes. I think he wants Blue to do it. Blue seems to be considering it. He says mass around yellow. So remember, Blue wants assurances, says I'll do the same to red. Yeah, obviously Blue doesn't want to kill red and then have teal not kill yellow. I mean, green's holding like a champ. Running out of resources, though. Oh, Blue goes to red and says, I'm coming to you. Not sniping. Oh, this takes a lot of trust. I don't know about this. I mean, Blue's also already here. This wasn't like a, hey, this is my plan. Can I do this? Blue is just here. Right next to where the king could be. So he's trying to bait teal into killing yellow. And teal is probably hoping that blue actually kills red so he doesn't have to kill yellow. I don't think anyone's going to die here. I think Vascarius would kill this if this was the king with the castle. Or the castle with the king, rather. This is where the king is, over here. He's still moving forward a little bit. And Mira says, when you turn, I turn. It's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Neither of them are going to do it. It's so funny. They don't trust the other person. Stanislav says that is not how this works. Well, then how does it work? Explain it to me. It sounds like you want him to betray his ally, and you're not going to do it. I don't think it's going to happen for either of them. Vascarius says, would be better if you killed yellow, to be honest, Blue. Which, I mean, is pretty logical. Now, look, he's massing some defenses just in case. Mira says, do you want a countdown? Stanislav says, you go now. I deal with player 4 easy. No, dude, no. No. Or you could easily just be friends with him forever. Stanislav says, I am almost out preparing a lucky king boom. Is he actually almost out? Yeah, everyone's really poor right now. Really, really poor. Ooh, a couple ships here from HUD sniping the trade. No. Which, of course, is the most important thing besides military right now. That's a great find from HUD. Oh, that ruins things for green big time. Stanislav says, I will. I have easy access to player 4. Mira says, same for me. So Mira's like, yeah, like, I have easy access to red. What do you want? Here's the thing. You can't sit inside red's base much longer. At this point, I'd be pissed if I was red, and I would not trust blue. I know blue seems to have this, like, plan. But the longer you sit here with no communication especially, the worse it looks. Yeah, also ships from Matthew here is killing green's trade, so green's going to have no trade. We are entering the poor period of the game for everybody. Very few gold workers, no wood remaining. And Mira says to teal, well, red noticed, and is just going to leave now. And Stanislav says, oof. Mira says, teal didn't take the bait. And Vascarius laughs. And probably also lets out a sigh of relief. But is this the end for green? This looks like it could be the end for green. And if it's the end for green, it could be the end for teal. And if it's the end for teal, it could be the end for yellow. But here's a king. Stanislav researches treason to find out enemy king locations. Kings explode here, so you could do something and try and take somebody out. I think there's a lot of what could have been. I think Matthew could have been killed off had they had siege. Too late to go back now. It seems like they have learned their lesson a little bit. We have 2 rams at least now from teal. As the paladins dive and the legionaries are here. HUD's researches treason. They're looking for green because green doesn't have anything. And oh man, HUD's researches treason. Sees the king is in the transport. He's so good. He's so good. He's so good. He's so amazing. He's so bad. Oh my god, he missed it, HUD's. He sails right past it. Oh no, the king was right there. An unintentional just passing. The treason doesn't show it for that long, so... yeah, now he finds out he went right past it. Oh, yikes. Like, does green know there's ships here? Green, you can't hang around for much longer. Yeah, green's got to get out. Green's escaping. If you guys could clip that, that would be amazing. King escapes. Oh my goodness, dude. Imagine being gray right now. You're so mad. There's even chickens you're missing. Oh my goodness. He says, damn it, he got away. Oh, man. Well, King's alive. I don't know if he'll be able to escape, but it seems like we have a new dock for a new transport, maybe, from green? That would be my guess. Yep, there's another transport. Maybe he can escape. Meanwhile, the base is going down. Flame Puncher says, I bomb you, boo. I don't think that means, hey, boo, I'm gonna, like, bomb you. I don't think green means what that means. What, like, that seems like it is. A little confusing. I think the plan from green is maybe to try and boom like, purple for yellow. King is here now. King's still not moving, and Flame Puncher turns on purple ahead of time, which is probably good. Yellow's going to die here soon, too, so Yellow's going to need a transport. Everybody on this team's going to need a transport, including Stanislav. So things should start to get real dicey between the others. Like, the other team should realize they're winning this game, and they're going to have to fight each other soon. Flame Puncher says, tell me where a king is, brother. Please tell me Flame Puncher knows about these castles. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, Mike. Oh, good micro. Good micro. I still don't think this is going to go very well. That is a 29 HP transport. And green doesn't know there's navy there. No! No! Oh, the king drowns. And there will be no explosion. And Flame Puncher is dead. F's to pay respects to poor Flame Puncher. He had a good game. He had a really good game. Stanislav says to blue, okay, I turn now. Yellow's king... Guys, Yellow's king is running this way. I mean, that's going to get pretty damn close to purple. Yellow's losing his entire base right now. So at least somebody's king is actually going to explode here. I think the castle will kill it. This will not be good, mean good things for purple long term. Purple will likely survive this. The king is back here. But yellow is dead, and purple is going to lose a lot of these buildings. Matthew says, blue, your alliance has been key. Can I trust you to remain friend to me? Honestly, a very good discussion to have, because Matthew knows that blue was discussing things with teal earlier. But yeah, explosion will happen. Purple is running away just in case, and there it is. That's exploding kings for you. Purple just lost half of his fortifications. And everybody else has their fortifications, so that does not mean good things for purple, of course. Mira says always. So let's check stockpiles. It's time for the stockpile check. Mira is freaking stacked. 81,000 food, 12k gold. We've got 4k wood for Vascarius, 30k food, 18k gold. So those two are the top two. Matthew asks for some wood for a market, and HUD sends him wood, and Vascarius sends him wood. And so, yeah, guys, once teal is dead, we have 4 players who very much like each other, and they have to decide how this goes. Stanislav is saying, this is your last chance. They're distracted. They're coming for me. He's trying to get blue to turn, which honestly doesn't really even help him that much at this point. But this is the time to really talk to everyone on the other team and say, hey, start to make some moves, but Yes, the story will end for Stanislav. There's no way Stanislav wins this game. I think Mira will want to be friends with Matthew because Matthew is a bit weaker and not a threat. Red and Gray are the biggest threats, especially Red because Red is Gabetto and Goths don't have real answer to Gabetto. Honestly, Blue should have maybe taken the deal. It might not have been a horrible move for Blue. There goes the king past the cannon galleon. But it was risky. If Blue turned on Red, then maybe Green survives, and then maybe Yellow survives, and the rest doesn't play out that way. Stanislav's still trying this. He says, distract Gray and I boom him for you. I mean, he can get pretty close to Gray's base here. So here we go. King's on the move. Okay, Stanislav says, Red, bring me to Gray King. Oh, he wants to use Red's transport ship. He sees Red's transport ship. Will Vascarius do it?
Yes.
That would be crazy here. Because Red is allied with Gray. He says ally. Vascarius didn't ally him yet. No, now he did. They're allied. Bro, this would be so sick. Because obviously if he runs in that way, it dies to Gray's castle. But now he can get a little bit closer. Did HUD see it? Because HUD says, what this? Did he see it? Oh, King dies there. And that is horrible for HUD. HUD has to realize, oh my goodness, guys. HUD has his king in the tower. He put a tower behind his castle. You can't see the tower, but you know what else you can't do? You can't click it. I don't think he can save his king. I could be wrong, but I think he might actually know. But he can't get to it because he did the trick and his king dies. He would have had to delete his castle to get to his tower, and that play changes things big time. HUD's is dead. Remember, HUD's was the one who tried to kill Teal earlier. And he says, GG, damn it. I think he meant to say, well played, Teal, not why. And respect between the two of them. All right. So now we got 3 people left. Let's see how this goes. Blue is just randomly rolling trebs through Red's base. I think Red is the guy to take down. Honestly, I think Vascarius can probably 1v2 these others. So they're going to need some really tough work. They're all trading near each other, so expect trade to be a focus. You could try a wonder victory if resources are low, but you still have planned for it. So Vascarius could maybe buy some stone. No one else can. There's someone in my chat that is very, 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 very convinced on a scale of 1 to 18,000. He's at 18,000 that blue and purple are on voice chat. I saw one of his messages. It was held by Automod. I don't think so. I think they will naturally have to team here. I don't think they're on voice chat. He says I can give timestamps. Dude, I appreciate your investigation. Let's see how it plays out. I don't think we need to dive into it that deep. I respect it, though. He's like writing a whole report here. So, Blue, we friends. Mira says together until the end. Matthew says, we friends, Red. Question mark. Vascarius should probably be paranoid right now. Mira says, we may fall together, but we ride together. I added that part. Vascarius is just so honest. He says, for now, probably yes. Got an obstacle between us. And Vascarius having a fun time. Matthew says, since we are top 3, do we get money? Question mark. If you ask your mom, maybe she'll give you $10. No, there's no money here, unfortunately. This is not Regicide Rumble. Respect, though. For you get respect and adoration of strangers on the internet, which I've heard is more important than money. What would you guys rather have? $5 or have me be proud of you? What do you think? Vascarius says, I have a job, so technically yes. Yeah, Vascarius should be working right now. You guys are all saying $5? Okay, no, we have a couple people say proud. All right. It's all right. I would probably take the $5 too. Isn't respect of random people on the internet how you get your money literally, T90? Let's not make this weird. Let's not make this about me. We're not talking about me. We're talking about you guys, okay? No. I've been told I'm quite the entertainer. I don't know. Vascarius is moving forward. By the way, you don't have to pay $5 to subscribe. I know $5 is important to everybody. You actually can save 25 to 30% on a sub over the next 5 days here on Twitch if you'd like to support. That is hilarious. Look how many shots just missed the trade. Here goes Vascarius turning. And this is what I was saying earlier. Like, Gebetto just completely shreds Goths. It's not even close. And blue is more military, or had more military, but it's all dead now. Castle's down. I think the only way they take care of red is if they use their king. They weren't really prepared for this. Purple wasn't here. It's almost as if they weren't coordinating on voice chat. It's almost as if they were, there would have been units ready from purple. Purple is here now. The damage is already done. Conics should be much better and potentially dangerous for red's units. Lots of thumpage here. And Conics thundering on through, some of them anyways. That is a lot of Conics from Matthew. Holy. We have Vascarius researching treason. Vascarius will mix in camels, which is incredible against the Cavs, so it's a good mix. But not so incredible against the Huskarls that will now come in. This might not be a fight that people can recover from. This is costly. Remember, there's no wood left on the map. They are all still having some trade run on the water. Ooh, but Vascarius gets his unit stuck. And he's losing ground, guys. This would be if there was Trebs. They would just massacre red. They just waited for, like, that moment. And, okay, here come the Trebs from blue. Maybe it's doable. It's a lot of military here. The castle fire should help a lot, though. And there is still a healthy ball of Gebetto. And most of purple's Conics are dying, so I think the Gebetto could start to be really strong against the Huskarls. There's some Trebs. That'll take down one of Vascarius' castles. But it's getting... Promise you don't unsubscribe if I make this joke, guys. Promise. It's... I have a feeling that red hasn't been in their Vascarius form yet. It will get worse for them. That was bad. Okay, that was bad. But if I know it's bad ahead of time, I think that means you can't boo me, right? Come on, Vascarius? Vascarius? Come on. That's good. My dad would approve. Check res again. Matthew is 53 food, 0 on food. That's not good. Matthew will not be making any more Conics anytime soon. Mira has 96,000 food. I don't know how that happened with 15k gold. Mira's set. Vascarius has 33k food and 15k gold. But Mira might have 3 times the amount of food, but Mira has 3 times worse units. And red's going to build a castle here, I think with the plan of taking down the trade that's here. I think some trade is still running. They might even still be trading to each other. It depends on castle positions. I think some of red's trade probably went down. Is there anyone else that will see a trade cart, or trade cog, sorry, and think it's a demo for half a second? It's probably wishful thinking, but in these instances, I see these trade cogs go by, and I'm like, oh god, demo. And then it's just a cog. I've seen people actually like, make trade cogs thinking they're demos because of the page they're on in the dock. If it was a demo, red would lose a lot, but there's no wood for demos these days. And Vascarius has to back away. And Vascarius needs to gather up the rest of the army that's over here. There's a lot of different things happening. Oh, castle actually got denied. Damn, what a play from Matthew. And Vascarius snipes the siege. But, guys, like, Vascarius is a good player, but purple and blue are pretty well coordinated right now. And blue can spam units forever, so maybe Vascarius won't have what it takes to hold on here. I didn't think purple would have more conics. How did he do that with nothing on food? Maybe he bought some food. Maybe he had some units left over that I didn't see. Damn, this is crazy, man. It's never ending. Look at the spam. Goths are insane. I mean, in a normal game, I always say with Goths, you don't need to have a good KD. Yeah, you're going to lose a lot of units. But they're so cheap and they produce so fast, it's fine. So that's what Mira is doing. Just a constant stream of Huskarls. Some of them taking down the castle. Some of them distracting the units. I think Vascarius might die to this. Goth power for Mira, who is currently 3rd place on the score. Doesn't have much of a base anymore. But does have the king in one of those castles. And I don't think purple's in a position to backstab. Red's not in a position to do that either. Yeah, again, stockpiles are better for Mira. So you take down the castles, you essentially eliminate the threat of the Gabetto, and you can win this game. Because Matthew's got very little. Matthew he denied this castle. There will be a new castle going up for Vascarius. If that goes up, Matthew and Mira lose their trade. But, like, at what point does Vascarius think he's just dead here? I'm shocked. I didn't actually think this was doable. Oh, king is out. King is out. There's a transport up here. Run! Okay, they see it. Blue signals it. Get to the transport. Get to the transport. Get to the transport. Go. Trade cogs blocking. Okay, he's in. He's in. Do they have any boats? It actually buys a little bit of extra time for Vascarius to mass here because they might be distracted. This would be horrible for blue. Purple could win. If Vascarius realizes he's going to die and goes for blue right now, purple could win. Blue should win this game if not for an explosion because blue's res is looking really good. Blue's going to run. Vascarius still on the move. There's a couple cannon galleons on the way from Matthew. Cannon galleons are actually tough, though. You kind of want galleons. But Matthew's been obsessed with cannon galleons, I've noticed. Castle goes up, so blue and purple will lose trade to that. Matthew says, go for blue. As Vascarius is going for him. But Vascarius, you gotta hop out quick because there's a castle, bro. There's a castle. No! No! It dies! It dies to the castle. So purple survives. It's now a 1v1. And blue can go back home. And blue says, so what now? Damn. Well, I mean, they have to fight. They could do so respectfully if they so wish. But red was the main threat, and red is gone. And now this is a fight between someone who has 4 on food and 50 food in the bank. And someone who has 83,000 food and 10k gold in the bank. Again, though, Goths kind of struggle with the military options, so the units are worse. Blue needs to pull everything back right now. 1,000 years of friendship has just ended. Purple's like, I gotta fight now. And purple is hoping the king is in here. That would be so good if it was. King, unfortunately, is not in that castle. It's in the castle over here to the right. Imagine if purple somehow caught that king as it was fleeing. That would have been really nice. Stressful times. Castle's down. These conics are destroying blue. But I don't think purple can make many more. There's a couple in queue. The gold income is there, so you could maybe buy some food here or there. I mean, purple has consistently surprised me just how many units are being produced. With what I thought was next to 0 resources. Blue will have enough military before you know it, though, to outmass. And I think blue just was also collecting some of the units from back here. Just ever so slightly distracted. Yeah, I don't think this castle can be ranged. That is the only castle garrison, though, purple. So you might need to try and go for that with your conics. Purple. Oh, bring all your army, bro. Bring it all. Bring it all. I don't know, man. Like, blue has very little left until blue just max Qs out of the barracks and produces instantly, right? The resources are still so good for blue. Unless blue has population space issues. Ooh, we have a betting update with our channel points here. Blue and purple had 1% of the channel points bet on them each. The lowest out of all players. Woo! Damn, payout's going to be insane. Whoever wins is going to be so happy with all the currency they earn. And they're going to be able to spend that currency on absolutely nothing. They're probably so excited right now. And purple's got to be sneaky. 46 units. This is the food income for purple? The wood situation's that bad? They've been walking to random deer and, like, boars? I didn't realize it was that bad. Oh, almost opened the gate. Almost opened the gate. Gotta be careful when you're bringing your meat back to the town, guys. Don't want to open the gate for the enemy. A nice awareness there from Matthew, honestly. It's pretty sick. And conics are absolutely sick against the blues units, so. I just think purple can't make anything. Look at purple's resources. Look at blue's resources. I guess there are a lot of castles. There is a chance there's a stalemate here. Because blue might not have enough to take down all these castles. Is this going to be the Great Stalemate Part 2? Only Community Game Edition? It's wild, but the Great Stalemate 1v1 went for like 5 hours. Are they trading at all now? Do they have that potential? They might be able... Okay, blue is bringing... No, it's not bringing gold back. Purple's got cogs moving too. They might be going to some of these dead players' docks. That could be an option. Purple had already killed like 500 units with castles alone earlier against yellow. How many villagers do they have? Purple has 17. Blue has 2. Wait, no. That's 2 eco with 2 trade. So 0 villagers for blue. Oh, God. Oh, God. This might actually be a stalemate. Well, what purple could hope for is... If this is the case, blue should... or purple, rather, should probably just wait underneath the castles instead of fighting an open territory, but... That's kind of a lame move. And purple doesn't want to be lame. Oh. Moves out there, fights. We'll heal up a little bit. Blue's trying to break through these walls. I don't know if 122 army is enough. If purple has any military inside of those castles. But purple's going to take this fight. And purple will lose the fight. And then purple might have nothing left. Does have 2 relics for golden come. But yeah, blue is through now. And here comes another wave of champions. A crazy wave. And look at the queue as well for blue. The queue's unreal. You might want to take care of this castle. This castle's killed 70 units. But I guess you feel like you can just pass it now. Purple's cannon galleon is taking down another blue castle. Doesn't look like blue has any relics. Blue got... If you're wondering how blue got so rich, it's because blue had a crazy economy all game and had more trade than most other players, so... blue is... Mira has experience enough to know you need to bank a lot of res for when it, especially on a map where you have low resource amounts. All right, here we go. Matthew says Allied victory, question mark? Bro, it's a little late for that. Asking for Allied victory when you have no ability to make units is a little too late, but respect. Blue says a bit late for that, I'm afraid. Matthew's funny. Matthew says, yeah, but now I know it's a good idea. True. He wasn't so sure if it was a good idea before. I like Matthew a lot. I like the idea of the open alliance. The open alliance thing was funny. Like, it completely ruined some of the scheming that was happening. And purple did run with the king. Purple's just hoping that blue runs out of resources and it's a stalemate right now. And update on that front. I don't know. I mean, blue's gonna lose the gold before the food. Is there a market? So blue can't actually sell food to get gold once the gold is gone. I don't know. Maybe there's a slight chance. Ever so slight chance. Like there's no way to buy wood either. And I imagine the price of wood is insane. It is 738 gold to buy 100 wood. And Matthew says, don't touch market, please. And he says, no, stop it. And then his market gets destroyed. And now as he is being attacked by the enemy, he is requesting the enemy give him wood. And Mira says, I have 4. So Mira's like, yeah, I don't have wood either. I would not, like, we know that purple's got nothing and is basically just waiting till death. I would never look away from my base right now. I'd be so paranoid that purple's building up some, like, petard conic army or something. Because you have no water control if you're blue. So blue's probably really worried about that. What the? Why is the king moving? Why are we moving the king out of safety? I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Were you not enemy to red? There's no way this is a mistake, right? Because the other units hopped out and went this way. Are you trying to be safe or something and go into gray's base? Mira? Mira? I mean, you're about to kill purple. Ah! Pigwee! What just happened? This is why you play on, guys. This is why you just hold on, because maybe your opponent will forget that Malian TCs fire arrows when they're not garrisoned. Vascarius gets the kill. And, much confusion for me. Mira in chat says, does that make me a legend? Legendary fail. Yes. Legend, I'm not so sure. Matthew is pumped, and he says in all caps, that is how I win games in Twitch chat. Okay, Mira, awkward time, because there's a lot of people judging you. Could you please explain the logic? I'm sure there was some logic. Surely you were trying to get to Gray's base for safety, right? That was a big oopsie. Everyone knows it's a big oopsie. I'm just curious, though. My thinking was there was paranoia because purple had boats that purple was going to sneak in last minute with something. And blue didn't want to be, yeah, like the cannon galleon, right? So probably just wanted to get to gray for safety. It just, the classic doing too much, right? And Mira says, thought I had cleaned up the castles. Yeah, you thought you cleaned up the castles, and you thought you forgot about red. Damn. Well, you know, it is kind of wild, though. I don't think that red kills it with the castle. Because Malians don't get bracer. And I think the king would go on this trajectory. So it was the town center, and it's the only civ in the game that fires arrows out of TCs that are not garrisoned. Like that bonus. If Vascarius never got that bonus, king's probably alive. Blue probably wins the game. But yeah, congratulations, Matthew. You really beasted it there in the end. And the open alliance strategy worked out. I don't know if all these stats are accurate because we had the capture age drop, but still a pretty good game. Honestly, a great game considering the map because we didn't have a ton of resources there. Well played, everybody. Huds had tons of trade, but he got boomed by Stanislav. Stanislav played very well despite the loss. That changed the whole game, right? Like, if Huds didn't get killed by Stanislav and he's still in the game with Vascarius, who knows what happens. Trade profit, pretty solid all around. KD, pretty solid for pretty much everyone except for Blue. Blue, of course, was Goths. Not too much Blue can do about that. And I know Blue didn't win the game, and I know there's going to be a lot of people who would be like, I would never do that. Isn't that right, guys? People who never play the game are currently thinking, I would never make that mistake. I know there's a whole lot of that. Whether or not that's true, I'm not sure. But Blue, you still played a really good game. You're a winner in my book, okay? And maybe your mom as well. Maybe she thinks you're a winner. It was close. You basically won. You basically won, and you tossed it away for our entertainment. That's what I believe. GG, guys. Here we go. Meme review time. You can rate these memes between 1 through 11. You know the drill. All right. So every single time we do community games, I explain, just click the party symbol, react with the party symbol. And then there's always a bunch of people clicking eggplant, which does nothing. It does nothing. Okay. But yeah, well played, I guess. Hold on one sec. That's a good one to start it off. Okay. All right. Here we go. This is good. This is good. I forget your Twitch chat name now. I know it was different in game. I would not feel bad about anything except for the lag, really. That was always going to kill you, okay? Those are just the rules. Anyone who has lag just has to be killed. So sad times for you, but they follow the rules of AoE. And here we go. Okay. We had a lot of screenshots from the game. I like that. Matthew says, for too long, people have made alliances in secret. Flame Puncher says, what if I'm jealous and don't like sharing? And just another T90 Lel says, I'd like to join. This is the whole like open relationship situation, which we have more memes on eventually. This is pretty good. And Flame Puncher was very loyal. Flame Puncher, we'll say that. Yeah, poor T90 Lel. Voscarius felt bad. Huds is even apologizing in chat right now. He feels bad for having to do that, but that's just how it goes. Okay. What gives people feelings of power? Money, status, killing the low elo lagger. I'm not sure how much power it made them feel, but I like this meme format, so that's pretty decent. I like that. Next. This is good, dude. Matthew would immediately voice any secrets that were shared with him were immediately screamed to everybody in the game. He ended up winning. So I don't know if he won because of that or what, but that was funny. Appreciate some different techniques at least. This is a great meme. I mean, it's not really funny. It's more like wholesome. This is exactly how I looked. You couldn't see me at the time, but when I read this, did you leave me, Teal? Frowny face? It's okay. I understand. I die to protect, brother. I was like, oh, respect. I wanted Green to win the game right there. And then Green died. Okay. What do we got this? Discord chatters when T90 is late. Yeah, if I'm late to community games, people were freaking losing their minds, dude. Losing their minds. It might just be the same 10 people just nonstop chatting, but they're on top of it. Not wrong. Next one. Yellow, teal, green. Yeah, there was a pretty big domino effect there. At the end. I like it. This is great. I forgot this one was in here. This is really good. It's a red pizza box, and it was a red transport ship. And Teal's King was inside of it. So that's perfect. The only thing that's missing is showing up to a gray house. Honestly, I have to say, like, Teal was already dead. It was Teal's idea. That shows Stanislav is a really good player. Like, usually it's Red who has the idea and is desperate for Teal to get inside and makes the request. But again, had that not happened, Huds is still alive. Maybe Voscarius and Huds work together, and blue and purple go down. I really have no clue what this is from. I honestly, it's a solid. It just the photo's ridiculous. This dude wearing a hot dog on his head. Maybe I should know this guy. I respect him because he's got a stash. But actually don't know. Huds, did you see it? I'm curious on if you saw it, Huds. Maybe you have time to clarify that. Did you see the king die, or were you completely surprised by the explosion? At the last second. Okay. See, I was speculating that you couldn't get your king out of your tower, but it didn't seem like you actually had noticed. What is this? Is that me? T90 late? Yeah, I mean, everyone was picking up a scariest at the end. Obviously made sense at that point. That's a solid meme. Blue and purple turned at like the same second, which is kind of rare. Normally there's a couple seconds separating people, but I've watched tons of games. I don't think it was suspicious at all, right? But this one chatter was like, I got timestamps. They're colluding. They're in voice chat. Like, he was all over it. It was super funny. I didn't see anything sus there, honestly. I just think they, you know, it felt natural for them to attack at the same time. But yes, congratulations, Axit. That is you. You made the meme. This is great. This might be my favorite one so far. Mira sending champs past castles, and then it's a quote from the campaign. No bother. They are only men. There's many more where they came from. Bro, that wasn't just Mira. That was freaking yellow and freaking teal running into purple's castles. Like, nobody was making siege this game. They were just yeeting their units into castles. Like, castles just tickle you or something. Castles probably had like 800 kills this game. That's really good. I like that. Yeah, siege does cost wood. Yeah. That was probably it. But I would have loved like 4 trebs. This made me cackle as well. I mean, Matthew really lucked out, dude. He could have easily died there to red. I've never seen this one before. That's good. Do we have any more? I think we have 2 more. Yeah, the crown is so good. I love that. I love this. I'm going to do what's called Tiggly. Crazy, man. Crazy. That it just happened to be Malians and it was ungarrisoned TC that got the kill. And I think we had one more. And Blue killing themselves and saying, why would Blue do this? It looks that way. It really does. It looks like that was a self-inflicted wound. From Blue's perspective, Blue is like, I can only lose this game if I'm stupid and get sniped somehow, right? And unfortunately, just, yeah, looks really bad now. GG. Thank you to everyone for playing. Thanks for watching. Thanks to everyone who made the memes. Good stuff.